Welcome to Toffee TV. This is a quick transfer rumoury update.
Yes.
Basically, just got Andy El Pavotti here to give me some information on these players, or his opinion on some of these players Everton have been linked with. We'll cut through the likes of Koulibaly and Insigne and Zielinski and people like that, Dries Mertens, because
marked as unlikely for now.
Unlikely, certainly for this window for January. But there's some of these players that we're going to discuss have been linked with possible moves in January. I mean, before we start, do you see Everton spending any real money this January?
I think even before the Carlo Ancelotti, I always expected loans, to be honest with you. I know people don't like to hear it. There's FFP, and I think the Premier League's called cost of control, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
And I think, though we can, obviously there are ways round in, with the club will always explore every avenue, it's very hard to do in a short space of a month. It's better to do it when the financial year rolls over in the summer. And I think we'll do it then more so. But I think, just to be more prudent, I think we won't add any more losses to this calendar year.
Yeah, I think we need to get...
I'd be smart to get loans. You can get good loans in as long as, obviously, be smart. We didn't have it with Zuma and Gomez. I think we'll learn from that. Get some options, some buy options on these players if we get them in on loan. But
try and get a few out as well, won't we, this month?
Hopefully,
because then that'll free us up a little bit wages-wise for loans and stuff. But let's talk about the players who we've been linked with. Start at centre-back, because obviously this has been an issue from the summer. We hoped we could get Kurt Zuma. We were then hoping we'd get Tomori, but then Chelsea went and sold David Luiz, and Tomori was off the table. And then we ended up trying to get Chris Smalling,
who's player of the season in Serie A.
Doing well, apart from he gave a rather strange penalty away the other night.
For you.
Yeah. And then we almost got... Well, we tried to get Rojo, didn't we?
I think Silva wants them perm, didn't he? But Marcel Brand said no, it's a loan or nothing, and that fell apart because we're rivals or something.
Something like... Well, we are rivals for ninth place, so it's all good. But the centre-back is certainly one that we are looking at. Wesley Fofana of Saint Etienne, young 19-year-old centre-back, has been very strongly linked over the last couple of days. Reports in France, a couple of decent journalists in France saying Everton have watched them, and
I think a lot of teams, to be fair, are watching Wesley Fofana. He's a young, talented centre-back. France obviously produces the most talented centre-backs of them all. We'll talk about another one later. He's not ready.
In your opinion, he's not ready?
He's not ready. He's a very
quick, isn't he? He's not lightning, but he's quick.
Big, strong, quick, type of defender we need. However, on the ball, not ready yet in terms of that, not very good under pressure. The difference between him and William Saliba, obviously we talked about in the summer, who signed for Arsenal, will join next season. Bit more composed for his age, much more of a mature player. That's the difference between the two. I think Fofana's going to be a really good defender. He needs another season of first team football before anyone invests good money into him. I think Saint Etienne probably want over 15 million for him. He is a good defender. I think Everton, it'd be nice if we had a settled back, three in front of him, but we need someone who's going to come in and probably play, and I think Fofana's a little bit behind that. He is a good player, though. I think in a season or two, he'll be a really good player, but just not right for Everton at the moment.
But Everton, I'm sure, will continue to keep tabs on.
We watch players, even though if they're not going to be bought this window or next window, we do keep tabs on players. That's generally what teams do.
Another young player is Jean-Claire Todibo, who's at Barcelona.
Signed from Toulouse last summer.
He's French centre-back.
I think I'd say he's ahead of where Fofana is. He's a bit more comfortable on the ball, wins the ball a lot, really good, really smart, big, strong, fast again. Really play, similar to Kurt Zuma in a lot of ways, a bit more mature, I'd say he's a bit less raw on the ball, and a bit more fluid in his motions. Again, though, he is young and inexperienced. He'd have some growing pains. He is very good, though. Again, probably I'd say he'd be a good option because he is a little bit further along the way that Wesley Fofana is. You are going to have to take a bit of patience with him. I think if you did sign, you would want to get an option on him. Don't think Barcelona would not do that, which is holding up the deal. I think that's why you see Milan haven't took him, because they wanted an option on him. So that he would fit what we need in the type of centre back. You need to be patient with him. He's not going to be he's not going to be a top draw as soon as you step into the team. But he is a very good young centre back.
Suppose if Everton could get him on like an 18-month loan.
That'd be ideal, if you can get a buy option of 30.
A buy option's great, but even if you couldn't, it gives you a bit of time to look for the next one, doesn't it?
I don't like developing.
No, I don't. That's the problem. That's where you're.
That's where the Zuba situation bit us in the fingers, because he basically rehabbed him, and now he's back at Chelsea.
And then I suppose the one that's been linked over the last 24 hours is Merit Demirel, who's a very good centre-back, obviously at Juventus. What are your thoughts
So
on him?
I watched him, I put the tweet up the other day, last year he was on loan in Turkey at Alanyaspor with not a good team at all, but he stands out, he stood out a mile, dead mature, 22, 6'2", quick, strong, mature, gets his head on everything, he really classy on the ball, can play right back. Got moved to Sassuolo, which is another Italian team, which is like UVB, I'm going to be honest. And he was played a little bit of right back, centre back for them, and then got us moved to Juventus in the summer now. Juventus obviously got Giorgio Chiellini, they've got Matthias de Ligt, they've got Daniel Rugani, so they've got enough
got
options.
Bonucci as well, haven't they?
Bonucci, of course, back there as well. So they've got enough options. He would be one for me. Him and Mina would be a nice pairing for us.
Right.
The issue is I don't think Juventus want to sell just yet. I think in the summer they'll sell. I don't think they'll sell out. But I really liked him, and I think he's really good. Sporting Lisbon, why they sold him for nothing, I don't know. But that was a really bad move by them. And I think he would be the type of player if we could get, I know people going, fine, and cast off some big teams. No. This lad's just undervalued. He's a really good centre-back. And I think by the time he's 24, 25, he'll be a top centre-back, really. He's a really good player.
He might be one who potentially Everton could get on loan with a view to a permanent deal.
He'd suit the Premiership as well. He's in the Premier League, so but he is that type of defender who can mix it up, a bit of finesse, but also uses strength in his body type to win the ball back. He's a good defender.
And hopefully Everton can do something because he is further along than the other two as well. He's more experienced as well. Couple of midfielders linked. Quite clearly, that's an issue. It's a massive issue for me, I think, with our midfield. Just having no mobility with obviously Jean-Philippe Gbamin being out and Andre Gomez out probably for the season, and at the moment we're seeing, we saw in our last game, the slowest midfield ever. Just not mobile enough. So we have been linked with a couple this week. One was Adri and Rabiot, who would have been lovely, but it looks like Juve are keeping him. He's come out and said he wants to stay there. Their general manager come out and said he's not going anywhere. So that one looks like it's dead in the water, which is a pity because he's a really good player. And I think he'd have been really good for us. Carries the ball, good physical strength.
He can play multiple positions in midfield as well. He could play. Realistically, people say he could be the best six in the world, like a Pirlo type, who can carry the ball, more athletic. Doesn't like to play there.
No,
he wants to be the box to box.
Wants
to be the box to box. He's very good on the ball, though. Really is. When I think I put it up last week. If you want to check my tweets, his data from when he played for your last full season at PSG 2 years ago. Superb. Yeah, really good.
Really good, isn't he?
But ball,
didn't look like that's happening. But one player who it's making the rounds again today is Gedson Fernandes.
David Ornstein was the big link, wasn't he? Because he linked it on, I think it was Monday, wasn't it? Gedson Fernandes is a good player, young, still developing. I think what's happened to him at Benfica is, I think he's best in a 4-3-3. He's an ace in a 4-3-3. They play 4-4-2 now under Bruno Lage, who was funny enough, Carlo Carvajal's assistant at Swansea before he got a job at Benfica as the manager. He doesn't suit that system. They like to play Florentino Luis as the more the defensive midfielder. He is a good player. What I think, as I said to you off camera earlier, I think what Benfica want to do is, while he's out the team, his name and his value are going to diminish, and Benfica are a selling club. So what their probably idea is to give him 18 months somewhere with an option to buy. And hopefully, because he is a good player with talent, he develops in that 18 months and then they get that money, you see. Rather than having to sit on the bench and they'll have to sell him for a less value, and then he could become a good player and they won't get the value. I think Benfica are thinking ahead. I think he would be a good sign. Again, he's still his final ball and his decision-making need work in the final third. He is a real talent, though. I think Everton need a bit more, someone who's a bit more ready. Myself, I think he is a good player, but he would take 6 to 8 months to settle into the Premier League. And I think, unfortunately, our fans at this moment probably don't have the stomach for another one of those type of players just yet. And I think Carlo would like probably someone a bit more, rough and ready, I suppose. So yeah, I do like him though, and he is a talent. But I think it's the type of deal and why Benfica are doing it. I think it is something that's why it is 18 months. You would take him with a pay-per-view to a longer term project.
Yeah. I mean, he's only 20, very talented, can travel with the ball quick. But, hopefully that's what Jean-Philippe Gbamin will be, because he's certainly, that's what he was like at Mainz, wasn't he? And the other one, the final one we're going to discuss just for today is Jeremy Boga.
He was at Chelsea.
Sassuolo.
He's a young player. I like Jeremy Boga, but I think this season he's really, really obviously gone onto the radar of a lot of clubs. My issue is he's the type of person who goes past a lot of people. He thinks dribbles about 11 times a game, completes a lot of his dribbles. His passing's not great. It's good, but it's not great. And I think if you ever want to be a Champions League team, we've been linked with Cengiz Under, we discussed in the summer. Much better all-round player than Jeremy Bogan. I think if you're going to be spending a good amount of money on people, we don't need to buy any more half-filled players who are one-dimensional, I guess. And I think Bogan is quite one-dimensional. He's very effective at what he does, but I think Everton needs someone a bit more well-rounded who can score, who can create, rather than another type who just is either a goal scorer or a creator. We don't need basically. Bernard is a bit of a creator who doesn't score many goals. Theo Walcott, in theory, should score goals, but can't create. We can't have many more of them types. We need more well-rounded players. And I think that's what Jeremy Bogan would be. He is a good player, though, but I don't think he's forever. And I don't think he's going to be a Champions League player.
He scored 4 goals and got 1 assist in 19 games so far. So not brilliant, but he is a good dribbler.
He plays in a good side. Sassuolo aren't really doing well in the league, but De Zerbi plays like Pep with. He has to play like Pep. He's a bit of a crazy manager, but there is going to be options that as I said to you off camera. I think Kondogbia and Kessie should be available in this window, possibly on loan or on a payment deal. Their type of midfielders, Everton should definitely be looking at, really.
Yeah, Frank Kessie. We'll discuss that next week, and hopefully.
Leave a little bit of breadcrumbs for you.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get one. Big thanks to Andy. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Are you confident Everton will sign players this month? Do you think it'll be loan like we do? Or do you think we won't be bringing anyone in? But out of the ones we've discussed, who catches your eye the most? Let us know in the comments section below. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. And if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. Me and Andy will be doing a few more of these transfer shows throughout of January. Thanks for watching. See you later.